Hi Scorpio, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. This is the 15th to the 21st of July 2019. Hope you enjoyed your previous week ahead reading. We're doing the same sort of, from now on it's always going to be the tarot check-in where we look at different areas for the week, okay? So for your current self, who you are the week commencing 15th to 21st of July 2019, we're going to use the Tarot of the 78 Doors. Favourite deck at the moment, really good. It's just stupendous, amazing deck. We're going to be using for your key, so this is for the current self and theme of the week, sorry. We're going to be using this deck for the key goal that you'll have for the week, the obstacle that you'll need to overcome, and the major accomplishment you could be making for the week. We are using a deck that I got a few months back, actually. I think this was. I really like this deck. I don't use it enough. Mystic Monday's Tarot, Grace Duong. Really good deck. We're going to be using that. And for what you need to avoid for the week, what you need to embrace, and where to find support, we are using the Neo Tarot. And I got this about a couple of months ago. Really good deck. And your spiritual advice, as usual, the answer is simple. Oracle cards by Sonia Chocolate, which I love. We'll do the 15 card reading afterwards, which looks at your work for the week, other general stuff coming in, and love life for the week. And I'll show you the actual cards we're going to be using afterwards for those. Okay, so we're going to put these ones to the side. I've already unboxed, so the cards are already out and ready to kind of lay down for you guys. So you guys, Scorpio, are showing as being, is this, okay, they're not meant to be reversed because I don't have reversals necessarily in that deck, so I'll put them obviously the wrong way up. You guys are showing as being the Empress, and I'm just going to put my other screen on so I can see you guys properly. There we go. I'd have to look through the big screen. Okay, yeah, that's better. You're showing as being the Empress. Let's pull these cards up a little bit as well so we can get everything on properly. There we go. So guys, you're showing as being the Empress for the week. Nurturing, supportive, helpful. You can see that there are children on this deck, and there are always pretty much children on an Empress deck. You know, whether she's showing as being, I mean, this lady isn't pregnant. She's had her children. So the side of the Empress that I'm looking at here is somebody who is helping others. This might be your children, so you might be showing as being really nurturing and supportive to your children, whether you've got one child or more than one child. But children are smaller, okay? And what I notice with this card is that, and you know what I'm like with tarot, I don't always stick to just generic meanings of cards. For me, personally, as a reader, I find that to be quite faithful to do that for me. Because I just feel that I miss out on so much if I'm just going to be looking at kind of the generic meaning of a card. So I like to look at the card, you know, look at it in a little bit of a deeper way. So the Empress here, she's taller. You can see these are smaller and these are, and it reminds me in a way of the Hierophant when I look at this card. When I look at it in terms of its iconography and the actual way that it's been drawn, very Hierophant-ish. So some of you guys might be providing guidance to others during next week, because these are smaller people, you know. So because this lady is so large, she kind of towers above them, kind of giving the idea that, you know, she is older, she's wiser, she's more experienced, she is more knowledgeable, for example. I mean, yeah, there's definitely the idea of nurturing and kindness and care on this card, and a lot of you guys will be. And also you can see it's the Tarot of the 78 Doors, which I just really appreciate this deck. I think it's a really fresh look on the tarot. Whoever, you know, the actual people that conceived this deck, I just feel that it's a really, actually, who did this deck? Yeah, Pietro Aligo, and artwork was by Antonella Platano, Italians, I think. But it's just incredible. I just really appreciate. It's really funny when you buy tarot cards like I do, And I have somewhere near 250 decks at the moment, and more is coming. Tomorrow I've got the Symbolon coming, which I'm really excited to use those as clarifiers for the readings. But you know, what's exciting about tarot cards is that when you see a deck like this and you see the door, and it's almost like she's taking the children through the door, or she's opened the door, you know, because these could easily probably not even be her kids. There might be people who, you know how, you know, when you've got Halloween and it's trick-or-treating, children knock on the door and you answer. And so some of you guys are answering the call of people as well next week, because these could easily be people who have knocked on your door and you're opening it, and what you're offering to them is warmth and kindness and help and support. So some of you guys are answering people's calls next week. You're answering the call of assistance and support to others. Some of you guys, some of you guys are next week looking after your children, the 15th to the 21st, looking after your kids, possibly being a little bit more attentive and giving a bit more help. And some of you guys, this card to me, because obviously I read the pictures on the cards mainly. I mean, obviously I go by the meanings of the cards, but I often look at from what I see on the cards as well, because they give you great clues when you're doing a reading. They really, really do, Scorpio, seriously. When you buy as many decks as I do and see as many different ways that the cards are depicted, you get used to reading the cards in different ways. And they can mean so many different things. It doesn't always mean that this is about pregnancy. This, to me, if the door is opening, then you're giving birth, or something new is opening up. But you know, this thing that's opening up isn't something necessarily new. This thing that is opening up with the door, you guys coming out of the door, guys, with the Empress energy, it's what other people are bringing to you, and you're kind of just acting as a response to that. So some of you guys are responding to people who need help, people who need guidance with this Empress energy in the next sort of 7 days or so. And some of you guys are just nurturing and helping and guiding those people that need it, whether it's your kids, whether it's your friends, whether it's customers, that type of thing. But I feel that you guys are really opening up the door to nurturing and kindness and support, whether somebody's knocked on your door for it or whether you've just gone and done it, you know, which is really nice with the Empress energy. So it's a week for nurturing and caring and giving support with the Empress energy, and really valuing people as well, because the Empress is also ruled by Taurus. So Taurus represents the things that we value, whether it's money or whether it's family or whether it's friendships or whether it's material stuff, pair of shoes, clothing, whatever it is. It is the sign that rules kind of money and value and prosperity. So some of you guys, it's a week for really valuing, especially people who just need, because I'm just noticing the smallness. And because you stand head and shoulders above these kids, obviously, it's a week for kind of showing your, not just your caring side, but showing that you value people, no matter, you know, whether they are asking for an opinion or whether they're needing your guidance. You're showing value, and you're showing that, you know, the people around you, that how important they are to you and how much you value them. Now, the week, the theme of the week is judgment. Now, on this particular card, you can see that these people are heeding a call. The doorway is now open, can you see? And these people are rising. I hope you can see that it's very sunny outside. So basically what's going on with the cards is that they can get a bit washed out. I love this version of, I just really like it. And you know what it reminds me of as well? It's almost like, as when they get close to the door, they get their angel wings. Can you see that? So all these people are rising up. And as soon as they get close to the doorway, they're starting to get their angel wings, which says to me that they've passed some form of a test. And finally they're being rewarded by receiving their wings. They're finally going through the doorway now. The doorway is opening, okay? And I do feel that some of you guys, starting from next week, I don't know when we're coming out of Mercury retrograde period, but it does feel that some of you guys have earned this with the judgment energy. It feels like some of you guys next week, and this is a very spiritual thing, I think, Scorpio, with that judgment energy. I feel the theme of the week is that some of you guys have really been through a difficult period, a really difficult period for some of you guys. But I feel that it's almost like if you heed the call with this card next week, the theme of the week is that God or source or the universe or the angels are really calling you now to rise up. And if you heed that call and you go for it, you'll earn your wings and you're going to go through the doorway. So this is a case next week where it's about, I think that the week, the 15th to the 21st, is telling you with this card, Scorpio, that it's all about the next 7 days where there is a very strong calling, and where universe, God, whatever you want to call it, source, it's calling you so strongly to rise up now. And this might be something to do with what you're doing here, being the Empress. You are, and these kids, if she's come out of the door, these kids would have had to knock the door. So they've knocked on the door and she's gone out. So in a way, this, when I look at both cards, it reminds me of a calling. The kids calling the Empress, and these people rising up because they're being called. So the theme of the week is about your calling, and you guys are really being called now to take action, because the Judgment card represents a call to action. So this week coming in, it's all about a call to action for some of you Scorpios, okay? And if you heed that call, and if you listen to it right, and if you take action with the Judgment energy, you'll have earned your wings. You'll overcome a difficult period, and you'll move forward, and you'll gain your angel wings. You're going through the door. Can you see the doorways there? It's calling you. It's saying if you heed the call and if you break free, because look at all the rocks, Scorpio, breaking away. These people literally have had to, and it's interesting, let me have a look at this as well. It's funny because, oh wow, can you see that? Can you see how these people here, look at this. Can you see how the people below have wings, but they look like devil wings. They don't look like the white wings here. They look like devil. Can you see that, Scorpio? They look like they've been coming from hell. It looks like some of you guys, that's the thing that's coming to me. That's why I love the tarot. That's why I don't read tarot just in a very generic way. I'm not about that life with the tarot. I'm really about looking into these images and kind of it's setting off and you know, things that kind of trigger me to say stuff. But you guys have literally been through hell, and look at the wings on this thing here. They look really heavy, and he's kind of, oh my God, of course, look, he's got a tail. Can you see that? Can you see how he's got a tail? This looks like a demon, or this looks like somebody who has been to hell and back. And it's really weird, but it's saying that you guys have been to hell and back, but now the door is opening. You've earned your wings, but you've got to heed the call. So this is a week of change, I think, for Scorpio. But the universe is saying, well, it's up to you whether you accept the change or not, Scorpio, because you can either heed the call and get rid of these really kind of burdensome wings that you're carrying and the tails that you have that kind of held you in the horribleness of hell that you were in for so long. And if you heed the call and if you listen to what the universe is telling you next week, you're going to gain your wings and you're going to finally pass through that gateway, which to me says there is a very positive change on the horizon for some of you guys next week. A very positive change on the horizon, but it's about heeding that call. And when you heed the call and you take the action, Scorpio, you're going to go through that gateway. It's a really good week, but you're going to have to kind of, it's not something that's just going to snap into place and you just go to heaven. This is something that you're going to have to kind of work for, and you're going to, when the universe puts those little signs and those signals and those opportunities in your way, Scorpio, the universe is saying, well, heed that. We're putting opportunities. There's an opportunity for you to rise from the hell that you've been in and finally to go through the gateway. Brilliant. What is the key goal for you guys next week? Well, 10 of coins is your key goal. So the 10 of coins is all about wealth, family, stability and security. So I feel that for some of you guys, and also the 10 of coins is all about just feeling gratitude and grateful for the things that you've got. So it's about being grateful for the food on your table, grateful for the clothes on your back. It's about feeling fulfilled on a very kind of material, earthly basis, if that makes any sense to you guys, because obviously pentacles represent earth. So when you get a 10, 10s fulfill their, you know, their sign. So the 10 of wands is the fulfillment of the pip cards on the wands. The 10 of cups is the fulfillment of the cup cards. The 10 of swords is the fulfillment of the sword cards, and the 10 of pentacles is the fulfillment of, not the cards per se, because you've got the court cards, but the pips, they fulfill that. So this is a card about fulfillment and completion. So the goal for Scorpio over the next few days, the 15th to the 21st of July 2019, will be, I feel, to be settled, to be stable, to feel secure, to have enough money, to have food, but also to be grateful for the family and for the food and for the wealth, because wealth isn't just about money with the pentacles. Wealth with the pentacles, especially a 10 of coins, is, well, think about it this way. Do you have happiness within your personal life? Do you have happiness within your family? Because that's wealth. Do you have health? Health is wealth. We're often told your health is your wealth. So Scorpio, your goal is just to have fulfillment. But fulfillment in terms of the earthly stuff. So what are we talking about when we talk about the earthly stuff? We talk about our families. We talk about our friendships. We talk about the food on the table, the clothes on the back, the jobs that we do. Yeah? We talk about all of those things. The earthly experience are the pentacles. So your goal will be just to feel satisfied, content, secure and fulfilled on a practical and earthly basis with the 10 of coins energy. It is to have enough. What is the obstacle you need to overcome? Well, there's a King of Swords here, and the King of Swords, it could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individual. The King of Swords could be a professional individual. So this could be somebody who deals with tax. This could be somebody who works within a legal capacity with the King of Swords energy. This could be maybe some advice that you are given with the King of Swords energy from an individual. This could be a partner with the King of Swords energy. This could be somebody who is acting in an emotionally detached way. If this isn't an individual though, Scorpio, the obstacle that you may need to overcome with the King of Swords in terms of it being your own energy, because not all, as I've always said, not all court, you don't always read a court card as a person, you can read it as an energy. Kings are rooted in earth. So earth is all about form, things taking form. The table that I work from is earth because it's a practical device and it's been put together and formed. He's ruled by air. So he's an ideas person, okay? So with the King of Swords, and because kings, so there's three components with the kings. The earth element with the kings, so it's all about form. Then you have the ideas with the King of Swords, or love with the King of Cups, or money with the King of Pentacles, or ambition, motivation, career with the King of Wands. With the King of Swords, if we look at the basis of this card being in earth, he's ruled by air. So his ideas in earth are actually taking form. The third stage is that the kings always act out in the world. So this is somebody who's taking a formed idea out into the world. So the obstacle that you need to overcome, if this isn't an individual, if you're developing new ideas, Scorpio, and they're fully formed and they're ready to go, you may need to overcome the obstacle of actually getting those ideas out there, putting those ideas out into the world. For some of you guys, this might be linking up with the theme for the week being judgment, whereby some of you guys have literally been to hell and back. And now the universe is calling you and saying, we have an opportunity here for you to enter through the gateway, for you to gain your angel wings, for you to finally overcome the hell that you've been living. For some of you guys, the obstacle being taking an idea out there and putting it out into the world, being your obstacle position, it might be this is something that you need to try and overcome in order to go through that gateway. I'm not saying it's for all of you, but it could be for some of you. If it's a person, this could be your boss, for example. Sword people are professional people usually. Okay, so when the tarot was devised, these were often the sword characters were people of high birth. All right, so they were kings, they were queens, they were duchesses, they were lords. They were people in authoritative positions. So this might be somebody who also works within an authoritative position, maybe within your work or something like that. What is it, a major accomplishment you could be making next week? High Priestess is a major accomplishment. I feel that the High Priestess, when I look at this as a major accomplishment, it's about your intuition more than anything. Okay. You can see here that this woman, I think in one hand she has the moon and in the other hand she has like a scroll. So she's a number 2 card, and it's all about with the High Priestess trying to balance the dark side with the light and bringing those things together so that she understands the gateway and she understands how she needs to move forward. Now this is a passive card, it's not about movement. this for me with the High Priestess is about thinking. There's so many more components with the High Priestess, but one of these components with the High Priestess is intuition and understanding. And I feel that next week, a major accomplishment that some of you guys could be making is that you're beginning to understand something within your life just that little bit more, something you didn't understand before. And that could again be very much connected to this energy here of judgment, where we are finally, judgment means so many things, but another meaning for the judgment energy is awakening. And awakening is very much connected with the High Priestess when we look at our intuition. So some of you guys, the theme of the week might be about awakening and suddenly an epiphany moment and understanding with that High Priestess. So if this correlates to this card, I feel here what we're looking at, Scorpio, is with the High Priestess, one of the major achievements that you're making over between the 15th and the 21st of July 2019 is you're starting to understand something within your life very, very well. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify what that thing is that you guys are starting to understand. I think I'm going to clarify that. What is it that you can see Scorpio starting to understand between the 15th and the 21st of July 2019? Look, he's got his hand on his head. This could be a person. All right. But the King of Wands is all about your motivations as well and your ambitions. If this isn't a person, possibly a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, then I feel that what you're starting to understand, Scorpio, is what drives you, what your motivations are. Okay, what your calling is as well. Because remember, the Wands are also ruled by intuition as well. And very connected. When you do tarot, how I do my tarot is I tend to connect up the cards in a lot of ways. For example, judgment here, the theme of the week is all about you guys being called to take action if you want to enter through a gateway. Because you've been in hell, some of you guys have. Well, it might be the major accomplishment is you're starting to understand how you're going to do that. Because this is all about your ambition, your motivation. But some of you guys may have been contemplating something for a long time and you've got action. So some of you guys, it might be about the intuition, the understanding that you are accomplishing next week. It might be about, with the King of Wands energy, your motivations, your ambitions, and how you drive those forward. Because the Eight of Wands is all about advancement, enhancement, and drive. So how do I drive my dreams, my motivations, my ambitions in life forward? How do I drive that with the Eight of Wands? And that might be what you're starting to understand. Because if this isn't a person, Scorpio, some of you guys, it may just be that the obstacle you need to overcome is, yeah, I've got this fantastic idea and I know exactly how it should be done. And I know exactly what audience I want to get this out to. But the obstacle might be, well, how am I going to put that out in the world? And it might be here, well, by the end of the week, you accomplish the understanding of how this idea with the King of Swords energy is going to take place. Because this is all about your ambition, your motivation with the King of Wands energy. This could be something internet related, for example, because the King of Wands represents PR, okay? And he represents the media. And how do we, with the Eight of Wands energy, drive the media or put things out there? Because the Eight of Wands is also about putting things out there, showing things, you know, putting out a whole heap of ideas, sending things across the airwaves. So this could be internet related. It could be about getting yourself on, you know, noticed by others, for example, that type of thing. What is it you need to avoid? The Queen of Cups. See, you can see on that, and whenever I see the Queen of Cups and her hand is over the cup, she's suppressing her emotions to me. And she's not opening up, and she's not receptive, and she's not open. So you guys, what immediately comes to my head here, and this is you, Scorpio, because Queen of Cups is a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian individual, but you've got the cup here. And I'm noticing you've got one foot on a ball and one foot. It's almost like you're trying to navigate or balance something here. But that's not what comes to mind to me when I look at this card, Scorpio. What comes to mind is what you need to avoid is making excuses for why this can't happen. Because when you get cup cards, now there are certain cards in the tarot that show receptivity, and there are certain cards within the tarot that show presentation. For example, you get a card where a cup is being held out like that, or a pentacle's being held out like that. Somebody's presenting something to you. You get a card where somebody's holding the cup, but it's not quite like that. It's just short of the chest, but it's open, the hand is off. Somebody is receptive to something, but her cup is closed, which says to me she's not receptive. And if you look above her, the angels are there. So she's not listening. And what do we have on here? Gaining angel wings. The universe is calling you next week. 15th to the 21st of July 2019, Scorpio. The universe is calling you to take action. It's putting opportunities in your way for you to take. But you need to avoid saying no. Because she's saying no. Can you see the angels here? The angels are calling. They're calling you on this card here, and they're calling you on this card here. But the cup over the card, the woman holding the cup over this is saying like, well, no, I'm not receptive to what is being offered. So you need to avoid kind of being, I think, for some of you guys, so picky and so kind of like, yeah, this opportunity's come, but I'm not really that interested in it. Kind of every opportunity that comes, because the universe wants you to succeed. So the universe is trying to put as many opportunities in your way, Scorpio. But if you say no to each one of those opportunities, I'm afraid the gateway is going to close at some point. Because I do feel that next week, for some of you guys, it's a really key week, the 15th to the 21st, to actually start seeing those opportunities open up. The universe is calling you. It's saying you can come out of, you can get out of hell. Look, can you see how the angel here with the devil wings and the tail, this is us. We are in hell, but we're being taken out of it if we heed the calls. And you can see all the rocks coming away here. So there's a breakthrough happening here. The judgment card also means a breakthrough, a spiritual breakthrough. So you're being called to release yourself, because you're the only one that can get yourself out of hell. So the universe is saying, look, the gateway is here. You can release yourself from hell. You can come out of this, because there are opportunities that are being put in your way so that it's going to enable you to do this, Scorpio. But if you need to avoid ignoring this, because you've got the cup, the hand over the cup, you're kind of like, well, no, I don't want that. Even despite the angels calling you here, I don't want that. And also this is angel wings. So you need to avoid saying no to getting your angel wings. So to being able to remove yourself, because what happens sometimes is that we say, yeah, we're in a predicament and we don't like being in that predicament. But then the universe says, well, there you go. There are all sorts of opportunities for you to get out of this predicament. And you're like, well, yeah, that's not quite right. And I was looking for this and I was looking for that. But the universe is saying, but the opportunities are here now. And some of you guys can't see that. So you need to avoid, number one, ignoring the calling. And number two, not taking the chance to get your angel wings and pass through the gateway of light. What do you need to embrace? The Three of Pentacles. Working with others. Planning. Teamwork. And the Three of Coins is a card about working with others to create something greater. Alright, it's a pentacle card. It's about work. It's about teamwork. And some of you guys need to work with other people in order to do this. So you need to embrace the concept that you may need to work with other people to achieve exactly what it is that you need to achieve between the 15th and the 21st of July. And that actually this is something that you can't do on your own. And if you need support, where can you find it? The King of Pentacles. This could be a professional dude. Because King of Pentacles, they're usually business people, they're professional people. He's not really kind of, an emotional advisor or somebody who's going to give you a hope, help in an emotional way. He's somebody who deals with practical stuff. So it might be that you could get, if you need advice, you could go to someone who can give you practical advice. But you'll notice that he's holding out the coin. So he's presenting something to you. So if you need support, go to someone who can give you not only practical advice, but somebody who could probably offer you something quite tangible. This is somebody perhaps within a working sphere. Somebody who is around you in terms of a career capacity, with the King of Coins energy showing up here. somebody who can help you start building a career, for example, with the King of Coins energy. But he holds out the pentacle. So if you need support, go to someone who can give you something practical, something, a resource, for example. The pentacles represent the resources that we hold. So go to someone for support, somebody who can give you the resources that you need to move forward in this reading, Scorpio. Could also be a partner, husband, wife, King of Coins energy. They usually show up as married people as well. Let's have a quick look at what your spiritual advice is for the week. Don't sweat the small stuff. Okay. Don't sweat the small stuff. I think that in terms of this reading, if the universe is offering you an escape route, and it's saying heed the call, take the opportunity, because you can gain your angel wings, you can finally get out of the hell that you're in, and finally pass through that gateway. But then some of you guys are kind of like in your avoidance area, you're saying, but I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I'm not receptive to this, and I'm not receptive to that because of this, that, and the other. Well, don't sweat the small stuff, because it might be that there are just small little things. You know, sometimes we want stuff, Scorpio, and sometimes those things that we want, it's not going to be kind of 100%. So sometimes we've got an idea of something that we want, because it doesn't fulfill the criteria on every single level, we turn it away and we say no. Well, the universe is saying, well, these might just be small things. Don't sweat the small stuff. If whatever it is that is being presented to you between the 15th and the 21st gives you at least 60, 70, 80%, 90% of what you're looking for, don't sweat the other 10, 20, 30, 40% of what you're not having or what you're not getting. Because you might be missing out on something that gives you the opportunity to fulfill a particular path going forward. Okay, let's have a quick look at your final reading. That's a very good reading. It's a very interesting one, I think, for you Scorpios. And what I try and do with the readings, I know I don't do many love readings and stuff like that, but I just don't feel the need to with I just feel the need. If it feels like love, I'll say it's love. And I guess a lot of you guys aren't bothered about it being love anyway, but you know, I just try and do readings that I feel, you know, the universe is really guiding me to do. Yeah, so I really love those cards. They're so beautiful. All right. Let's, for your last 15 card reading, we're using the Druid Craft Tarot. Really love this deck. Sorry, I seem to get so much fluff on these covers. Druid Craft Tarot deck by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gum. And for your spiritual advice, we are using the Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue. Okay, let's have a look then. So. Alright, so any other energies coming in, Scorpio? What have we got? We've got a Page of Cups. Good news is the Page of Cups. Surprising news is the Page of Cups energy. So some of you guys could be receiving some good news, surprising news with the Page of Cups energy showing up here. The pages, for me, generally represent new beginnings and also news communication. So, for example, the Page of Swords is usually an email. Page of Wands is some really good news, could be referring to work and career. Page of Cups can be really kind of just nice news coming in. It can really transcend all sorts of things, the Page of Cups. And Page of Pentacles, for me, that card indicates news concerning money, or it can be a small amount of money, for example. They're also all students as well. Let's have a look at the next card. Okay, so the Seven of Swords. Right, so the Seven of Swords is, and on this particular deck, he doesn't look like he is stealing, or he's being underhanded or manipulative. This person looks like there's a strategy in place. He's strategizing, he's writing. And I feel that for some of you guys with this Page of Cups energy, we've got some good news coming in for you guys. Perhaps this good news involves a need with the Seven of Swords energy to strategize and to put certain ideas into place. Some of you guys might also be doing or focusing on doing some creative writing, because the Seven of Swords can be about the written word, swords can be, and he's writing stuff down, and this is creative. So some of you guys might be focusing on creative writing. Some of you guys, I feel, might be getting some really good news in. I feel that this is going to require you to kind of try and manage a situation, or to try and strategize for the week, perhaps. Maybe something that you're not expecting. And also, this could be good news, and sevens usually represent the need to hold on to situations. So you might be receiving some good news, good information with the Page of Cups energy in terms of how you're going to hold on to a situation with the Seven of Swords energy showing here. We've got the Four of Coins. So I don't usually like the Seven of Swords with coin cards, because sometimes this can be money getting taken. Some of you guys might be getting some good news. Maybe you had some money taken erroneously, because the Seven of Swords and any coin card for me is not great. I just don't like that card when it's around coins, because it can literally mean money getting taken that you didn't see getting taken or stolen. So this is like property or possessions. Some of you guys might be getting some good news. It might be money, possession, Four of Coins energy. Perhaps there was something that was taken here erroneously or without your consent with the Seven of Swords and the Four of Coins. You might be getting some good news back concerning that with the Page of Cups energy showing up here. The Four of Coins is also, if you can see here, he's saving money. So you might be getting good news as well on how you can strategize with the Seven of Swords energy in terms of saving money. So some of you guys need to work out a strategy in how you're going to save money, and you might be getting some good news, some surprising news, maybe from a surprising place on how you're going to do that. What's the next card showing up here? Eight of Wands. So I'm seeing fast-moving energy, advancements, changes happening with the Eight of Wands, messages coming in and being received. Perhaps some of you guys are being very proactive showing up here as well. Death. Okay. So we've got two cards referring to change here. One of them is the Eight of Wands and one of them is death. Alright, so death is an ending. Death is changes. Okay, Eight of Wands is being proactive. Eight of Wands is being fast. It's messages. I think messages are coming in. There's a lot of messages coming in. Perhaps this refers to some form of change that's taking place with the Death card, because I'm seeing you guys receiving a lot of messages concerning some form of a change with the Death card coming in here. Okay, so in terms of general, we'll just recap. Some of you guys getting some very good news, I think, coming in here with the Page of Cups energy showing up here. I'm seeing here that I feel that this is going to involve some form of a strategy with the Seven of Swords, possibly on how you save money. Some of you guys, it might be that you've had money taken erroneously. Possibly it could be with the Page of Cups energy, you're getting some good news concerning, or good feedback concerning something like that. I'm also seeing the Eight of Wands, lots of messages, Eight of Wands energy showing up here concerning a big change coming in with the Death energy. Possibly things speeding up after a time of nothing happening as well, because Death is just silence, nothing happening. This could be something speeding up. So it could also be that after a time of things being really quiet, maybe with that Death energy, that things are suddenly starting to speed up again with the Eight of Wands. Let's have a look at love. Okay, we do have conflict, squabbles and arguments with the Five of Wands energy, but the Five of Wands can also be competitors as well. So with the Five of Wands, it could be people who are, you know, competing for your attention, that type of thing. Yeah, I feel that actually some of you guys do have a lot of interest coming in for love with the Five of Wands, and you're going to have a decision to make with the Two of Wands energy showing up here concerning others. This isn't you, this is people around you. So I feel, Scorpio, you've got people who are interested in you next week, over the next few days, because these are competitors, people who are vying for your attention. I feel that you've got, you know, people around you who are interested, and you're going to have a choice between who it is that you want to step out with or who it is that you want to go for. So some of you guys are probably single. What's the next card showing up here? Nine of Coins. It's funny that I mentioned single, because the Nine of Coins shows a single female, usually somebody who's very independent. Okay, Three of Coins. I think some of you guys want to remain independent with that Nine of Coins energy here. You're not willing to work with whoever these people are. You have a choice as to who you want to take on in terms of love. But because you're so independent, you're not really interested. Three of Coins reverse means pulling out, means not willing to work in a team or not willing to work with someone or develop something with someone. So I see that because of your independence with the Nine of Coins, and Nine of Coins is usually a single male or female. And also because you're just comfortable with the Nine of Coins, Scorpio. I see some of you guys, you're just not interested in kind of investing or getting involved in whoever these people are. What's the next card showing up here? Yeah, Ten of Swords energy. You're just done on it with the Ten of Swords. Some of you guys don't want to develop a relationship that you feel is just going to fail, because Ten of Swords also means failure. So we'll read the love cards again, Scorpio. I feel what's going on in terms of love. You do have people around you who are very interested. People are vying for your attention. 15th to the 21st of July 2019. You have a choice as to who it is you want to kind of step out with. But I feel that because you're so settled and comfortable within your own skin and just doing your own thing. And I think that with the Nine of Coins as well, sometimes you could have been on your own for a long time. So for some of you guys, you've been on your own for a while and you're kind of like, well, I'm really comfortable just being single and on my own. And I feel what will happen is that because of that energy here, you'll kind of say with the Three of Coins reverse, I really don't want to develop a relationship with any one of these people. And I also don't want to develop a relationship that I know is just going to lead to failure. So I do feel that some of you guys, you've got opportunities for love, but some of you guys are saying, no, I'm not really into that. And finally, your money and career. Let's have a look what shows up here. So the Knight of Wands shows up here. So Knight of Wands shows movement. Sorry, you can't quite see that card on the end. But the Knight of Wands means that there's movement, change, with the Knight of Wands energy showing up here. The Magician, okay, so I think a change is going to be presented to some of you guys here, because the Magician energy means presentation. So a change will be presented to some of you guys with that Magician energy showing up here. What's the next card showing up here? Ace of Swords, though, is reversed. I think that some of you guys, because the Ace of Swords in the reverse means no strength, no success. It also means a lack of insight with the Ace of Swords. And I actually feel that, and this also means no communication as well. I do feel a change is going to, this could be in work for some of you guys, a change is going to present itself to you. A move, Knight of Wands energy, is going to present itself to you, Scorpio. But there seems to be, with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, a lack of insight. But then the Ace of Swords reverse can also be separation as well, because you're cutting through with the Ace of Swords. So this might be separation. Ace of Swords are cutting away. Oh, Four of Wands is in the reverse. Four of Wands in the reverse for me is a lack of stability and security. Oh, you've got all of these in balance as well. Temperance reverse. Wow, 3 reversals there. What I'm getting from this, Scorpio, is that there's going to be a change. Knight of Wands energy is going to be presented to some of you guys with that Magician energy, okay? But I feel that this Magician presenting this to you is not telling you the full truth. So this person, whoever it is that's presenting this change to you, and I think for some of you guys, you'll already be in a job. And some of you guys, it will be that this is the boss. This is somebody who you work for, and they're presenting you with some form of a change. But that change that they're presenting to you, they're not telling you the full information. They're not telling you the full truth about it. I feel that for some of you guys, the instability and insecurity, but also, I don't know whether I can really call Four of Wands in the reverse a move card as well. Because for me, this is a stable, secure home. So we'll call this the move card. I think moving makes you guys feel imbalanced, because Temperance reverse is imbalance. So I would say possibly moving makes you guys feel imbalanced. I feel then that, therefore, in the terms of career, Scorpio, you'll be presented with the options to move. But whoever's presenting you with this is not telling you the full truth with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. They're not being 100% upfront about what this move entails. And for some of you guys, it's going to make you feel kind of unstable, insecure and unbalanced. And for some of you guys, it's going to, this move with the Four of Wands in the reverse is not a happy one. Because Four of Wands in the reverse is to feel unhappy. Okay, some of you guys are probably unhappy to do this. It makes you feel imbalanced. So move being presented by the Magician, but Magician not telling you the full story about this move. And I think this is work. or this could simply be a new job, because it doesn't have to necessarily be that you're in a position as such. So this is a move, whether you're in a job or not. This is a move being presented by a magician. Magicians, we know, create illusions. They're not telling you the full truth. Somebody's not telling you the full truth about a job, and I feel some of you guys aren't happy to do this move with the Four of Wands in the reverse. It makes you feel imbalanced and unsafe. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, guys, for the week. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.